Hello.
Hello.
How's it going?
Yeah, not too bad.
Cool. I
I've
see
got
we've got a special guest.
yeah, yeah. This is Lord Fauntleroy, um,
Oh,
cat's paw
welcome,
buffoon.
Lord. We're looking to hear your thoughts on Gen V.
His actual name's John.
John the cat.
He's a bit of an arsehole, so I don't know how he's going to behave. But
Well,
we'll
his
leave him there for
opinions are
now.
as valid as anyone else's.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're doing
Do you want
Gen V 6 and 7, aren't we?
6 and 7? Yeah. So yeah. So here we are in episode 6. I think episode 5 ended up with Cate sort of. I think they realised it was Cate, didn't they?
Yeah.
That was who'd been instrumental in helping Shetty sort of like fuck with people's minds and stuff.
Yeah.
Bloody soups.
Bloody
Um,
soups.
so she was sort of revealing a load of stuff, and then at some point she has like she have like a cardiac event or something? Does she?
She had like a seizure, didn't she?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like the aftermath of Cate being, discovered as this mindfuck person, and so they're all, obviously really sort of betrayed by her kind of thing, and Andre loves her. And well, they all loved her, and they just feel really sort of pissed off and violated by it.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's a bit with Shetty as well, like the virus works
Yeah.
on soups, and she wants it to be stronger to see how that goes.
Yeah.
And
Cow.
the doctor called Cardoza doesn't seem that particularly bright. If because you'd be thinking, why would she want it to kill
Yeah.
soups? Do you know what I mean? Why would she want it to be stronger?
Yeah. It's a bit flimsy, that whole
If he's like an
thing.
inquiring mind, which scientists are supposed to be, you'd think that he'd actually question that, but no, it just goes with it.
Yeah.
And so they end up in Kate's mind.
Yeah.
So there's quite a few interesting bits in here. So Soldier Boy turns up.
Yeah. He
And he's a
does.
cock, an absolute cock.
He's a
But
cock anyway, isn't he? Yeah.
yeah, he's always worth. He's worth watching.
So he's like her. Turns out he was her imaginary friend when she was a kid, or something like that.
Yeah,
So
he was probably a first love, sort of a
yeah,
fantasy, that's a sexual fantasy that he's
yeah,
quite pleased to talk about.
yeah, exactly. It was all a bit peculiar. Yeah, he was quite rude about what they sort of got up to. We won't even go into that here.
No,
But yeah, yeah. Apparently, he taught her how to have sex.
yeah. And then Emma and Sam get it on as well. But the upshot of like sort of episode 6 is she kind of shows them how it is that she got to be in this position where she was sort of like betraying her friends.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, she's basically sort of been starved of love, effectively, by her parents,
yeah,
and then kept as a prisoner,
for
pretty
9
much by her
years.
for 9 years, and then sort of Shetty comes along and like is sort of super nice to her. So
Yeah.
it's kind of, and then and it's kind of treated her, like almost like a daughter or something like that, and she's obviously like completely sort of like feels abandoned by everybody and all that kind of thing.
No
So,
one's
so
even
she's
touched her in those 9 years.
yeah,
Like Fitz, she hasn't had any physical contact with another human being. Like her
yeah,
mum hasn't like tucked a vest into her trousers for her, giving
yeah.
her a bath when she's little. Because I mean, she was about 6 or some. She was
Yeah,
8
I mean, it
maybe.
can't. I mean, you could have put gloves on her because she wears gloves in. Once she got out of that thing. So I
Yeah,
don't know why they didn't insist upon that then. Because the girl, she seemed quite. She was very sad. About the fact that she'd made her
yeah.
brother go away. She would have capitulated and said, "Okay, fine, I'll wear gloves." I mean, it's not. you know.
Well, her
So
mum
it's
couldn't
just,
forgive her for the loss of her
yeah,
son, could they? So that they've punished her
yeah.
basically.
Did he die, or did he just not come
It
back?
just didn't come back. Yeah.
Christ. Yeah, so interesting to see what happened to him.
Yeah, and
Mm,
if they've given fee to their daughter, it's their fault. It's
yeah.
their
They
fault.
might have
This is
given V to the kid as well, the
exactly,
boy as
yeah.
well, yeah,
So
so that's only just occurred to me.
he might come back, and he might be psychically. The other thing I thought as well, because in chapter 7 or chapter, in episode 7, we've got Newman turning up, and
Mm,
she injected her daughter with V, and obviously Newman's this like super powerful head explosive
yeah,
woman, and her daughter may have the same ability,
yeah,
and she gave that injection to in the last season of The Boys. So it's possible her kid's got the same ability as well. But we'll get into that later because
yeah.
something happens
I
with
mean, it's
Marie later, doesn't
interesting
it?
that it's interesting really because I was trying to think like, what are they, what are like real world kind of examples of people doing this to the thing sort of thing to their own children. And it's
Mm.
like I couldn't really sort of come up with anything, but it's just sort of occurred to me, that I mean, a few years ago, people were talking about like gene editing babies. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah, well yeah.
yeah, or even to an extent, people who have like want to have children by a sperm donor. They list all the attributes, don't they, of a
Characteristics
person.
they'd
It's like, oh,
like.
he's a painter,
Yeah.
and they go, oh, I'll have him. He's got blue eyes, I'll have him. In a way, it's kind of a similar thing, isn't it? It's trying to sort of, f- you
Yes,
know,
designer baby.
yeah, design a bait. Exactly, that's the term I was looking
Yeah.
for. Well done.
There was another thing as well where I mean they always push it out as a good thing, as in like for people who've got the cystic fibrosis gene, which is
Mm,
a terrible condition to have.
yeah,
It's a lot better now with drugs and stuff, but still, it's a fucked up
yeah,
condition. So you could edit that out. So they always put it in that way. But then you'll get like rich people going, yeah, I want blonde and blue eyes, or super intelligence, and I don't think we know enough about that kind of stuff to. I mean, look how the COVID thing fucked everything up. I mean, they
yeah.
didn't know what they were doing there.
I suppose again, it's like you know that whole thing. I mean, again, it goes against what we're supposed to be intelligent as a modern society is that
Mm.
your physical looks and stuff just shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter whether you're what color you are or what color your eyes are, and none of that stuff matters. So it's weird that people still, or even the fact that they think that's somehow going to make you a good person.
Yeah,
You know what I
right.
mean? Like it doesn't really matter. I mean, obviously, there's an argument for like if you know your child is going to have a fucking crippling disease that's going to put a thing, that's a difficult choice, and people make those choices. You know what I mean? You can get
Yeah, no, I
obviously
totally get why
it's
you
all
wouldn't
getting
want your
quite
child to
deep,
have.
isn't it?
Yeah.
But I mean, I suppose the point is that I think when I was first watching this series, I was like, why would you do that to your children? But now I'm just like, well, mostly they did it for money
Mm.
because I think some of these people got paid, but also I actually think they would do it.
Yeah.
I think people would do it because it's going to bring the whole. It only takes one successful person in your family, and like the rest of the family's brought out of poverty. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
Look at I should talk about Blue Beetle, which I watched the other day. Fucking hell. Anyway, I just thought that was an interesting point. Do you know what I mean about what sort of why they're doing it and stuff? But you can kind of, I mean, they've made them all like wholly evil, all the parents,
Mm.
for doing this. But like, I think a lot of people would do it.
I
But
think they would. I mean, it's bad because obviously your child can't consent.
yeah,
So,
exactly.
so you don't choose that. And the fact that Marie grew up, didn't have any. She had a normal childhood, and
Mm,
then all of a sudden she got puberty, a period,
yeah,
and ended up killing everybody because she wasn't prepared for that, and she hadn't asked for that,
yeah,
and also the same with Cate with her, mindfuck abilities. Now it looks like as though she's going to be more powerful they've because she's realised that these drugs that she's been given have actually stopped her
yeah.
from doing a lot of a lot of that.
Yeah, I mean, she's like kind of proper dangerous, really. I mean, it's weird that episode 6. It kind of went. I watched it twice, and I was like, not really a great deal happened, but I
No,
suppose it did. We see some moments inside Kate's head, which of like how Kate sees the other people. So
yeah,
we only, I mean, it was interesting that we were seeing Maria's, killing her parents in Kate's head. And I was like, well, where's that coming from?
yeah.
Because, like, how would Kate have access to that knowledge? But is it, partly that their, memories are bleeding out into Kate's just so it's being shared? I don't know. It
Yeah,
wasn't very
well, even though,
well
I
done, but
mean, if Kate had ever touched Maria at any point, she
yeah,
she could have maybe read her mind. So,
yeah,
and that
yeah,
is
to have
full.
the actual truth. Yeah.
Yeah, she she
Um,
she that would be forefront because Marie's still very young, and that only happened, probably when she was like 12, 14, something like that.
yeah, so it
Yeah.
wasn't that long ago, I suppose,
No, and
relatively.
you
Yeah.
killed your parents. It's a massive big deal, and a sister
Yeah.
hater and all the rest of
We
it.
we also
So
see what I think probably the really only important sort of thing that we see there is that Kate and Andre were getting it on before Luke had died.
yeah, so
We
he's
didn't know that before,
yeah, they're
and
all
Luke knew
arseholes.
about it. Yeah, and like
Yeah,
Luke knew about it. So yeah, that's pretty shoddy, man. Do you
yeah.
know what I mean? Sheer shoddy behaviour there to then come across all fucking moralistic and
And then
stuff.
hugging him and love you, brother, and all that, and you're doing that.
Yeah, do you
Yeah,
know what I
it's
mean?
out of
That's just
order.
fucking shit
Yeah.
isn't done. Fucking Andre. I don't
No.
like Andre very much now. It's sort of like
Yeah, I've gone
he's
off
just
him
a
a
bit.
bit as
Yeah, he's.
well.
I mean, he fucking killed that woman in the first or second episode. It's kind of his fault.
Mm.
Anyway, then I've got written down here. Sam beats up Kate. I don't actually remember him doing that now, but I think he did. Sort of
No,
like,
so what happens is they all get together, and I think Emma goes to find him. She gets her memories back, goes to find Sam. Sam comes back, and they're all in the room, and he sees Kate, and Kate was the one that was making him forget, and her
yeah,
and his brother uh,
yeah,
attacks her. Uh, He's very strong, very
yeah,
strong. Beats them all up really, but Emma sort of talks him down. Says, "Look, you don't. I mean, she'd done it to you, but do you want to do it to her? Do you want to be that
yeah.
person? You know?"
Mm.
And but yeah, I totally get why everyone's angry with her. But you
Yeah,
seem,
and with a fucking Andre, fucking lying bastard.
yeah, and then Jordan turns out Jordan's a little bit of an arsehole
Yeah,
because he covered up. He kind of knew that the female Jordan put a mask of some gas over Golden Boy's mouth to stop an attack in the guy Clancy
yeah.
Brown's
It's like, I mean, there's
character.
only so much like defense, your own personal history can have against your own bad behavior. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
oh
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah. It's not an excuse at all, but
no, exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's like in the case with Andre, it's like his dad's a bit of an arsehole, but that's
mm,
about it. Like he
yeah,
hasn't really had a bad life.
no, no.
So
It's quite
do you know what I mean?
privileged. Yeah,
He
yeah,
hasn't. He's lived, and he loves his dad. He's still. I mean, his dad is obviously clearly focused on fucking his career and money and on fame
mm.
and all that shit, which is is terrible. But like that's not an uncommon occurrence.
No,
But you didn't go around fucking like killing people, getting away with it, and then shagging your best mate's girl, who you say you love. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Shit, man, that fucking
yeah.
sucks, dude. Um, so yeah, there's an interesting moment when Emma and Sam are having sex.
Oh yeah, the
um,
puppet thing. Yeah,
yeah, I mean that was quite sweet them two. I thought because like he's
yeah.
never had sex before, and like it was kind of funny. He said something about I've never had sex apart from my hand, but it's very proficient or something. And she just sort of laughs, and it's like it was kind of sweet and kind of funny. Not gratuitous. Didn't need to be,
No,
But despite the rest of the show being quite gratuitous, that was kind of sweet. I like them too.
yeah, I
Um,
do as well.
yeah,
Yeah,
Emma's probably the best one. Morally, she's probably the sort of better one in it, really.
yeah.
I
I,
think, so I've kind of warmed up to her a bit.
so
But
now, so now I'm thinking because I thought the puppet thing was someone fucking with his head as a
oh yeah, the
control
puppet.
measure, but I think it's just part of his. I think he's actually schizophrenic. He's
Yeah,
schizophrenic. Um, And then when he goes into the let's kill everybody mode, everyone turns into puppets, which is probably
Yeah.
is a good defense mechanism for the brain.
Yeah,
Because
against yeah,
yeah,
exactly. So against reality,
yeah.
um, so that's very much like a sort of maybe a childhood trauma thing. I don't know. Well, obviously that's what it is,
We
but
might find out a bit more
um,
about that, but yeah. So
but
yeah,
yeah, I mean, it's strange because I kind of thought when you suggested they were pissing around with their minds as well, I kind of thought, oh, that makes sense. But like the woods and that and the stuff that Shetty's up to, it just seems to be her and one doctor. Do you know what I mean? It's
yeah,
like it doesn't seem to be. It's just like a couple of cells. Do you know what I mean? I haven't seen a lab. I haven't seen like a bunch of technicians or anything. So it's like
yeah. Coming up with
it's all a
something
bit
like that on your own
underfleshed
would
out.
be monumental. I would
Yeah,
imagine. I mean, the equipment you would need to for for that is so
yeah,
expensive. I mean, it's not like something you can like
yeah.
tuck away in a budget somewhere. You
It's
know.
all a bit thin, really. Yeah, it's like how they
Mm.
would, like to do. I mean, again, it's like why aren't the parents of these children saying, "Where's my kid? He was supposed to phone me on Friday." There's none of that
Yeah,
at
they're all
all.
locked up. Yeah, they're all. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, whatever. So it was a bit of a thin episode. It had a
Also,
couple of good moments.
yeah, it was all right. Yeah. So anyway, should we go
Mm.
on to chapter 7 because that's a better one?
Yeah. So Chapter 7 came out yesterday, episode 7.
Yeah, I keep
So
calling it
yeah,
chapter.
so this one starts off in the cells in the woods, and there's a few people down there now. There's like sort of 3 people to a cell or something, and one of them's like proper diseased up,
Yeah,
sort of all pustules and vomiting blood and all that kind of shit, and they're stuck in a cell with 2 other poor young people. Do you know what I mean? They're
yeah,
saying
they're
let us
seeing if
out and
it can
shit.
spread. Um, and also the
Yeah,
fact that it's going so quickly as well. I know it's a fantasy, but right,
yeah.
make it infectious, make it airborne.
Yeah.
Like
I
it's a
mean,
little
it's
bit
not
more
what.
tricky than. Do you know what I mean? You
Yeah,
can't you
it's
can't
like.
just.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? You can't just make a virus airborne. Do you know what I mean? You're talking about genetic engineering
That's a
of what.
full
I
lab.
mean,
They did it with
yeah,
anthrax in the 70s, and the British, the Americans, and the Russians um, they've all got anthrax. In like we've
yeah,
got Portland Down in England, and God knows where else in Russia and thing. And in the 70s, they said that no, we're going to get rid of it all, but they didn't. Portland Down
no,
still got loads of stuff in there. All VX gas, all the rest of it. But they made anthrax airborne by making the cells smaller. But that took years.
yeah,
That took years, and I think it escaped at one time as well, and killed a few people because I think it's a 90% um, kill rate once it gets in
it's
your
very
lungs.
nasty stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, anthrax. Yeah, it's very hard to kill off as well. But anyway, so I've just gone on a tangent.
but no, but I know why you're saying it. It's because basically it's like an incredible undertaking
Yeah,
to
it's
change the
monumental.
fucking
You need
properties of a fucking microscopic organism. Do you
top
know
of
what
the
I mean?
line.
It's just yeah.
Yeah, you need
It
top
would
of the
chances are
line.
it would be yeah, chances are if you made it airborne, it wouldn't do what it was supposed to do because it
No,
needs to be,
it's
a
got
certain
yes.
size to yeah,
You've got to make it into an aerosol. Not every disease can be
yeah.
aerosolized.
I mean, to be honest, it would be easier just to fucking drug them and then kill them if that's
Yeah,
what she wants to do. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Fucking
I mean,
stupid.
sure, if they chop their heads off, I
Um,
mean, I'm sure that would work.
some of them it would kill them, yeah, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Um. So
Bloody
yeah,
stupid.
but I'm just saying it because you need top of the line lab. You need like
Yeah, no, it's
hundreds
yeah,
of people, lab technicians, scientists. You need
yeah.
everything. You don't need someone
I
going
know. I
and
haven't seen
Shetty and
even seen the guy looking at a microscope.
no.
Sort of like that.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
nothing like that.
Maybe a mask on. You
Or
know.
looking up at a screen where you see a cell dividing into two, bloop, like that. They always do that. See?
Or they've got a screen with like a woman's chest spinning around with
Yeah,
like
yeah,
sort of tip
yeah.
function
With
nominal.
Yeah, like a little dotted red line of a virus going through the veins and then
Yeah,
going like the
yeah,
Death Star.
yeah. It's multiplying.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, so yeah, um, yeah, it brings to mind a
but
lot of
yeah,
movies actually. Yeah,
yeah, it does. Yeah, to show technology, like pointless graphics.
yeah,
Yeah, pointless wireframe graphics. Yeah, but yeah. So I mean, so that's like the beginning of this thing, this sort of little prologue thing, and it's like okay, and like, he's like, yeah, this kid is dying, and the
yeah,
doctor this is, and Shetty's like, can we make it airborne? Ooh, it's
yeah.
like you bitch. So she's just pretty demanding as a boss.
And if it's going to infect, I
Um,
know it attaches to the V, the compound V in the cell, but they are human still, so it can affect a
yeah,
soup.
yeah. I mean, she's obviously mad.
Yeah, she's
I mean, yeah,
bananas.
we find out a little bit later why she's a bit mad, but like,
Yeah, but that doesn't
it's a bit
excuse bloody
overkill. Do you know what I mean?
genocide. Yeah.
Again,
Hey,
these whole things is like in basically bad behavior justified by having a bad past. It's like that's life.
yeah, get over it for
Yeah,
fuck's sake.
yeah. But we see some more about the gang with Cate. So the gang just don't trust Cate at all.
Yeah, which is
Treating
fair
her like
enough.
shit.
Yeah.
Even Andre being a shit to her, like so. I mean, even his behaviour's abominable.
Mm.
Um, but you should like, at least, they're supposed to be fucking friends. Um, so basically Cate sort of says, well, we'll hatch a plan. I'll influence her. I'll use my powers to sort of like influence Shetty. Um, Jordan's being all angry and shit. Um, and then there's a moment between Marie and Jordan, and they're both being sort of like Jordan's being very aggro, but they say they're going to expose. They're going to try and expose Vought,
Yeah.
I think, which is like okay, cool, fine, good
Yeah.
idea. Might have led with that really.
Well,
Yeah.
they break into Shetty's office.
Yes.
Jordan has a moment where he creates a distraction, and then they start like a super fight
Oh
outside. So
yeah, there's a
Marie,
fight.
yeah, Marie gets in and finds they both get in the end, and they find the file where Shetty's past is brought to light, where her entire family were killed by Homelander, giving her the excuse to be a nut job. Um, and then
But
she,
they overhear the doctor as well, don't they? Was
yeah, I
that
thought that was a bit lame. Like,
yeah, it
coming into his
was. It
office,
was.
explaining,
Yeah, revealing the
monologuing.
plan out loud. He just
Yeah,
comes in and goes, so you want me to create a super virus, do you? To no one in particular while drinking whiskey. It's like,
yeah.
dude, look, not all fucking men do that. It's like
No one
we've
does
had
that.
a hard day at work,
No one
wandering
does that.
around swigging whiskey. Do you
It
know
could
what I mean?
it could have been done better. He could have been on the phone to his husband saying, I don't know what I'm fucking doing.
Yeah. Or even
She,
recording into a dictaphone, if I
yeah,
die, this is what's happening, and they
yeah, something
overhear it,
like that. That
something like that, rather than just coming in and going, "Oh, I'm going to
exposition.
kill some soup." Yeah,
Yeah,
that was quite shit. Actually, I did notice that as well. I thought it was bloody
yeah.
stupid.
And
Um,
then, so everyone's a bit pissed off. And then I think is it Cate and Andre? They're watching the telly, and Polarity's dad has a seizure.
yeah,
And it turns
I
out it's
said,
fairly
yeah,
dangerous when they have seizures because, like,
yeah,
he trashes
trash is that.
the studio, doesn't he? It's like things
Yeah,
flying everywhere.
everything's fallen to bits and stuff. It's interesting because there was a bit I think just before that where we see Shetty go off and see someone, and
Mm.
it's this woman Mallory, and she was in The Boys,
Yeah, yeah,
so
she's the CIA lady. Yeah,
she was like Billy Butcher. Is that his name?
yeah,
Is it Billy Butcher? Yeah.
yeah,
Um, Carl Urban's character, she's sort of like his handler sort of
yeah.
thing, or she
Sort of,
was, and
yeah,
they have a funny relationship, don't they? But
yeah.
like in the end, she works for the government, or she works for.
She's like
I
a
think she works for the government.
she's like a black ops CIA sort of.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
well,
fear
she's
Vought, but they're trying to they're trying to sort of monitor it so it doesn't get out of hand.
And I think they're sort of like they're trying to use, suits for their own ends as well, like for,
Yeah.
for for global war operations and stuff like that. But like it's all very skullduggery. But she's kind of seems to be on the level. I think we got the impression that she's not wholly bad.
No.
She was sort of quite a good character in that show, I think, because she was again like proper. Not she didn't really seem that conflicted, but like her motivations were completely conflicted. She was sort of okay with Butcher, but she was,
It
very much
means to an
against
end,
Stoops.
isn't he, for her?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So it was interesting seeing her turn up. I still didn't really understand why, um,
Well, I think it's
but
because at the end she says no. She says no to Shetty. Says no. This is
yeah,
genocide. Please stop.
yeah, that's right, of course.
And then she says, "Did you hear all that?" sort of thing. So I don't know whether that was the other people on the other side of that phone were either the
Yeah,
boys or
yeah,
someone in the
that's what I was
government.
thinking. So it
And
could be old Butcher turns up or something,
Butcher
or
might turn up.
because Butcher and and the fucking Frenchie and the woman, you know what I mean? They are kind of like her ace in the whole sort of group. So she has contacted them to do stuff for her because it's off the books and stuff. So I mean, that was like ooh. So that was kind of interesting. Like
Yeah.
maybe we'll see one of those guys turn up. I bet it's fucking Frenchie or something.
Yeah,
I know
she
it's
says
sort
to
of never.
keep a close eye on Shetty anyway, because obviously she's in, mental. Um,
Yeah. Sam's having fun.
Probably
So
for the
we
first
see
time in
Sam.
his life.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. He's like Emma's like, you need to stay here, but the soups are all doing what teenage toddlers do and sort of mucking about, playing
getting
beer pong,
stoned,
and all that stuff.
getting
Yeah, getting
drunk and
drugs,
fucking
having sex
about.
with llamas, and pissing around. So he goes out and has a load of fun, but then gets coerced into going to some meeting, which is like a campus meeting where
Soup
they have
Lives Matter group.
yeah. Yeah, Soup Lives Matter, and this they have that Senator Newman on, the one we were just talking about, the head blower upper from the boys. But like typical college campus, a lot of people don't want her to speak, so there's
Mm,
all like shit stuff like. But some people are like, they've just gone to the other extreme, which is that we are superior to regular humans, all that shit. You know what I mean? I didn't buy any of that. It's bullshit.
hmm
Um, but I still don't know why she was there really. But basically, yeah, Sam's like, why am I here? I thought Emma was coming to meet us, but like, no. Um, so like you say, Polarity has a seizure. Um, there's a fucking riot at this sort of lecture speaking thing with Senator Newman. All the soups start fucking fighting each other using their powers and sort of like all that kind of shit. We are superior, all
Yeah,
that
you will
kind of
not
crap.
control us.
Yeah, which is a bit worrying because Sam says a couple of things later on
Yeah,
of
and
like
Kate.
we are. Does she? Oh, I didn't see that. Yeah,
Well,
but basically,
they kind of agree with each other because uh,
yeah,
so they all end up at Shetty's place after like Emma finds Sam and all the rest of it. And the thing is, Sam and Kate have both been very badly treated. And
yeah,
controlled from a very young age. So now that Sam's aware of this movement, that they will not control us. He's like, yeah, fuck
yeah.
yeah, fuck yeah,
It's given him a bit. Yeah, it's a bit worrisome, isn't it? This
yeah. And because
because it's
he's so powerful, he's so powerful,
he could
and
be the fucking leader of a lot of them. Yeah,
yeah, and
we don't know the. Yeah,
and Kate.
we sort of
I
don't
mean,
know the extent of his powers, do we? Like Sam, what he's
no,
capable of. Yet, he can fly and shit, and he's super strong and almost invulnerable, but kind of a bit very
he,
naive and sort of.
well, yeah, he's like a child. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
very, yeah, like you said, very naive. Um, And so they go back to Shetty's place, and Kate makes Shetty kill herself in front of everybody.
yeah. So it's weird because we get a scene before that where Shetty says, I love you like a daughter and stuff. And Kate touches her to see if she's telling the truth. She's like, oh, you're telling the truth. And Kate sort of crumples, like cries and hugs her and stuff. And I was like,
Yeah.
you daft moo. But it turns out
No.
that was part of Kate's
Yeah.
manipulation for Shetty to think that she'd done that, which was quite well done, I thought.
Mm.
Um, we also see a bit about Maria's talking to Newman. Maria's basically like, we've got evidence, that this virus shit is
Yeah.
going
Where's your
on,
outrage? Yeah,
and
we've got all this stuff. Yeah.
yeah, and so she brings this stuff, and it turns out that Newman, the head blower upper, she has the same power as Maria.
Yeah.
The blood manipulation, which I didn't make that connection at all.
And I
But
think
I said, but yeah,
Newman's
she does.
her sponsor. Newman's her sponsor because a while back they.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
well,
didn't
that's
know
what I
that.
think. I mean, because the
It could be right.
doctor
Yeah,
Cardoza wanted to use her in experiments, and Shetty said no, she's got a sponsor, so you can't. So I think it's Newman who's Marie's
yeah.
sponsor because they've both got the same power. And now that we know
So
that
yeah,
Newman's injected her daughter, there might be three of them with this
isn't yeah?
power.
I mean, is Newman aware of the woods? This is what I didn't
I
quite
think she
understand.
is. I think she
I wasn't
is.
sure if she was in league with Shetty, but like I didn't get the impression she was. But
She's hard to pin
I
down
don't know.
because, like in the boys, she murdered quite a lot of people, including
Yeah,
Snoops, just
yeah.
to sort of get people off a trail. So she's absolutely uh,
A total arsehole, yeah. So they made
well,
her a
yeah,
politician.
she's got no qualms about if it's going to get her, power or uh, what she wants. She's got no qualms about killing people. So I mean, if she did, I think she probably did know about the woods. She kept her face quite closed when Marie asked her and said, "Look, this
Yeah,
shit's going on." Um, I think she does know, and yeah, can't be trusted at all. I mean, it's going to be weird for
yeah. It
Marie.
was. Yeah,
Well, it's going to be weird for Marie because this is the only other person in the entire world she knows who would feel exactly like her. Do you know what I mean? It knows how the powers work, and sort of like a
yeah. She could become like a mentor sort of thing, which
yeah,
is kind of yeah.
which is a bit
Um,
worrying because I don't think she's a good person. I don't know. She might be. It's a bit hard. It's a bit hard to know. Newman.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't. I mean, I couldn't really quite remember what her deal was in the boys. Like, why was she such an arsehole? Because she was sort of pretending to sort of be, sort of on everyone's side, but then she's murdering people just to get ahead in politics or whatever. Do you know what I mean? But I couldn't quite remember
It
why
all
she was
seemed
like
quite
that. What her fucking
strategic. I'd have to
story
watch
was.
it again. Um,
Yeah, or just ask ChatGPT.
yeah.
Um, but yeah. So Kate basically says, okay, gang, Scooby Gang, come to Shetty's place, and so they get there, and Shetty's basically turns out, Kate's manipulated her, and she's basically just making her tell the truth, which is that yeah, we're gonna kill you and all this, and like basically her parents were killed. Is that right? Her parents were killed on the
No, a
plane.
husband and a son were killed in the
Husband
airplane.
and a son. Oh, that's
Um,
right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it was in one of the episodes from the boys. It was when Queen Maeve and
Yeah.
yeah, that was when that happened, and this is the upshot of it. She found out that he'd done it, and now she hates all soups. So
So she's gonna, yeah, just become the leader of a school and invent a secret lab underneath and kill them all. So it's a fucking elaborate plan.
anyone would do that. It's
Anyone
normal,
would
isn't
do
it?
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's normal
I'm
behaviour.
gonna
Yeah.
kill some people, genocidal maniacs. But yeah, so then she makes her cut her throat in front of everyone, which I was like, that's probably best. To be
Yeah, I
fair,
didn't like her, but
um,
at the same time, it's pretty monstrous. At the same
it
time,
is
yeah,
pretty monstrous because they're just sort of like, yeah. And then yeah, Sam makes another comment. I can't remember about. What does he fucking
we are
say?
better than them. We are
We
better
are
than
better
them.
than them. That
And
sort of shit. Yeah. I
Emma
mean,
gives him
I
a bit
didn't
of a
kind of.
look, and
Yeah.
because I think Marie wanted to save Shetty by putting the blood back in, but Kate wouldn't let her. And I think Jordan or someone says, "What have you done? You've obviously just murdered somebody." And I think Sam says justice, and so Kate and Sam are on the, you know, we're better than humans thing, so that could be quite dangerous.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so yeah. Oh, and at the
But
end,
yeah.
um, so
Oh, so the doctor goes to see Newman, doesn't he? Yeah.
yeah, and now
He
she's got
says,
the
"I've got
disease. She's got the canister of, um, you know, weaponized
filth."
disease. Yeah, of
Yeah.
and she kills them. So two of the bad guys have disappeared. They're dead.
Yeah.
Shetty and Cardoza.
So
So
what? So what's going to happen now? Yeah, there's poor people down in those cells still locked up.
mhm.
Um,
So I
you know,
think maybe the
a
Scooby
power
Gang.
vacuum.
Yeah, maybe the Scooby Gang will go and rescue who's left in the woods.
Which would
Um,
be easy now, and
it
just
would-
sort of punch the doors down.
yeah, I mean they did seem to have a lot of
Mm.
riot cops in the first couple of, but I haven't seen any of them since. Um,
No, it's weird. It's weird, that whole thing. Yeah, it's sort of
yeah, so I mean maybe they'll go and rescue a bunch of people from the woods if they're not all dead. Newman's got the disease, so God knows what she's going to do with that. Because I've absolutely no idea what, if she's good, bad, intentions wise. I have no idea.
no. I don't. I don't. Yeah, it's like, why would you? Because that would surely affect her as well. But maybe because she's a politician, she's going to use it as some sort of leverage or
Mm,
something. I don't know. Because I think the idea is that if it gets out into the general population, it will kill all soups. So, like, she clearly can't want that. Well,
no,
maybe she does, but
well,
it
it'll
doesn't
kill
really
her
make a
and
lot
her
of sense.
daughter. So
Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
Which seems kind of like, oh, I don't
that
fucking know.
leverage
Or maybe it doesn't
probably.
work on her or something. Maybe it doesn't work on
Oh,
blood
people who can
soups.
control, yeah, because she might be
Yeah,
able to stop the virus in her blood or send, you know,
yeah.
white blood cells to the disease and kill it off immediately. She might be able to do
It's
that.
possible. Yeah, it could
Yeah,
be that. So it'd be like all soups dead apart from the blood soups, and then you've
yeah.
just got like Maria and Newman fighting it out in a bloody way. I don't know. Maybe that's
Don't,
the way it's going to go.
don't know. Don't know.
Um, we'll see. I think it. I might have read something that it's coming. It's got a second series, and it probably deserves one. I don't know how many
Yeah.
episodes we got left.
No.
Um,
Probably a couple more, maybe four,
maybe
something like that.
this is 7.
So
Yeah,
we're on
maybe
seven,
4.
so
Could
maybe
even
three. Maybe they've got 10. Yeah.
maybe 3. I mean, I can't see how they wrap it up. I mean, the whole story's a bit thin, to be honest. Of the whole series, it's basically like so I don't not really quite sure. They probably could wrap it up in one more episode.
Mm.
But like, I don't know, I'm not sure how they would drag out 3 more episodes. But I don't know, maybe we'll see. I haven't actually looked. Couldn't be bothered to find out how many episodes there are. But apparently, it's getting a second series, and it probably deserves it.
I
I've
think
sort of,
so. Yeah.
it's been a bit. It's been a couple. Like episode 6 was sort of important, but a bit short. It felt a bit
Yes.
thin. There was another episode before that was a bit, I mean, there's a lot of moving sort of things, but moving parts. But it's kind of finding its feet. I mean, it's sort of enjoying it. I enjoyed this episode a bit more,
Yeah.
and I suppose it's good that the characters are a bit more conflicted. Good and bad. That sort of vagueness between good and bad is good.
Mm.
I think for characters, because like, there's no point making someone wholly evil or wholly good. It just doesn't fucking feel right. It just feels weird
Yeah.
if they do that. So it's good. So it's good that they're making them, good people doing bad things, that sort of thing. So yeah, I'm still enjoying it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. It's
it's I
good.
mean,
So
it's
I quite
again, it's
like
not a
it.
patch. It's not a patch on the boys, I don't think. But I
No.
mean, the boys had a few duff, moments and scenes. Even that third series of the boys, was it a third series? Where they Butcher started taking the drug to give him suit powers and stuff, was a bit like, would he do that really? Um, there was a few duff episodes in that, but I think it's just sort of quality of the acting and stuff like that was much better. But I'm still enjoying it.
Yeah, no,
It's
it's good.
okay,
Yeah. It's definitely
you
worth a
know.
second season. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
So should we leave it there then?
I suppose. Yeah. So
Yeah.
looking forward to one next week. Um, just trying to think. So I watched a really good a few episodes of a show called Scavenger's Reign,
Oh right, yeah,
which
yeah.
is an animated sci-fi show, which is based on like a short movie. Apparently, they did very well, which I haven't seen. But that's something you might want to check out. It's kind of it's an adult. It's more adult based. I think it's a bit cerebral, a bit psychedelic as well. It
Oh,
reminds me a lot
cool.
of those sort of 1970s
I've,
seventies
I've got the
cartoons.
I've got the 3 episodes there, but I haven't sat down to watch it yet. I will. I'll get on to that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a sort of slow burn thing, but like it's very imaginative. And by the third episode, I was kind of like, wow, this is just absolutely bonkers. Um, but really quite cerebral and kind of not slow paced because that's just mad shit happening the whole time. But
Mm,
it's not like an action sort of guns blazing sort of stuff. There are moments, but it's
yeah.
more of a sort of thought provoking sort of thing.
That sounds
um,
good. Yeah.
it was interesting. Yeah, so I watched that. Maybe we could do something on that if you fancy it.
Yeah, yeah. We do that next week. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so well, I suppose we should leave that there then, unless you've got anything
Yeah.
else to say about any of these people.
No, that's it.
Yeah. No, fuck them all.
Fuck 'em all.
Yeah, give it a few decades and you'll just be as middle aged as the rest of us, and everyone will hate you. So enjoy it while you can. Enjoy your youth while you can, because after a while, all your bad behaviour, instead of being celebrated, will be pilloried.
Yeah.
Pilloried? Is that a word? Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Pilloried. Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. All right then. I'll see
Nice
you
one.
later.
All right. See you later then. Bye.